Hi Clark County, it's Brett Simpson here and I'm running for Clark County Auditor because election integrity matters. Shortly after the 2020 election cycle, election integrity advocates from all over America began to form organized teams within and between their political parties to investigate the results of that election and, more importantly, to understand and demand greater transparency from their electoral processes. These teams, often referred to as election integrity teams or EITs, began the arduous process of document requests, known as Freedom of Information Act or FOIA requests, and sometimes referred to as PDR or public disclosure requests, voter canvassing and forensic inspection of the voter rolls and results. These EIT teams have worked to understand all levels of the state and federal election apparatus, including here in Clark County, Washington. The Clark County Republican Party created its own election integrity team, and many of its members also serve as certified election observers or CEOs. These are the observers who are provided somewhat limited access to observe the collection, counting, and results tabulation at our local county auditor office during ballot collection time. It is no surprise that many of these CEOs report a less than cooperative environment while serving in their CEO roles. Similarly, many FOIA requests are also denied by county auditors who claim their requests are exempt from disclosure or would violate state law. The bottom line is they don't want to share these records with the electorate, and they don't like the electorate standing over their shoulders asking questions during the entire process. To be clear, many of the FOIA requests made do not actually violate laws or disclose the specific votes of any voter. Often the auditor's denials refer to laws that do not pertain to the actual requests. They're relying on the fact that citizens' only remedy is to hire expensive lawyers, if you can find one that will even do it, that have the fortitude to challenge the state's unlimited taxpayer-funded lawfare force. Time and money appear to be their weapon of choice in depriving any redress of governmental abuse. It is abundantly clear here in Clark County that Auditor Greg Kimsey has created an arguably hostile environment for CEOs, going as far as having them removed from their observer positions for asking questions and demanding answers. And he is also quick to have deputy prosecuting attorneys at his side to deploy as his lawfare weapon against our local electorate. Late last week, this campaign received an inside look at a blistering report soon to be released by the CCRP election integrity team, involving incumbent auditor Greg Kimsey and his CC Auditor Office. In this report, the EIT outlines 10 major areas of deficiency inside the Clark County Elections Office. We will post that report in its entirety below. This report is a shocking look into the lack of honesty and transparency of our auditor's office. For example, many people are unaware that shortly after the 2020 election, a group of local citizens, including some from the CCRP EIT group, approached Kimsey with data proving fraud through statistical analysis. The group begged to pay for and perform a full forensic audit to determine the areas of compromise and weakness in a good faith attempt to work with the auditor's office to make corrections. In fact, the group had assembled donors who, after reviewing the initial analysis, offered to pay the hundreds of thousands of dollars the audit would cost to explain the anomalies. This new information is also troubling in that it aligns with national reports led by EIT pioneer Captain Seth Keschel that Clark County, Washington is one of the top 100 places ripe for election fraud in the United States. Many EIT advocates believe that Washington, including Clark County, is the epicenter of voter fraud in America, and the nexus of the systems and processes that are being used to manipulate voting results throughout the country. What if our little slice of heaven in the Pacific Northwest is also the prime testing ground for illegal and fraudulent vote tabulation processes that are ultimately perfected here and used nationwide? In the upcoming days and weeks, we will drill down on each of the revelations made inside the report and connect the dots from this report to other reports and forensic inspections of auditors' offices around the state of Washington and other parts of the country. Is it only happening here, or is it happening the same way everywhere? Once or twice may indicate a coincidence, but do hundreds of reports, almost identical in scope and conclusion, suggest something more Nefarious? Is there coordination? We know that 6 states stopped counting votes at exactly the same time while sending CEOs home on election night 2020. Was that strategic coordination? Was a Plan B triggered when Plan A looked to be failing? And why does this Plan B look to be a mirror image of the Gregoire versus Rossi debacle the same year we in Washington went to 100% mail-in voting? Free and fair elections are the foundation of our constitutional republic, yet the gatekeepers of the electoral evidence appear hell-bent on keeping that information from the eyes of the electorate. Our Washington State Constitution begins with Article 1, Section 1. Quote, "All political power is inherent in the people. The governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed and are established to protect and maintain individual rights." How can we, the people, maintain all political power if we are ultimately unable to determine if the single direct involvement metric we possess, our elections, are free, fair, and accurate? Read the report for yourself and determine if this is the type of transparency and accountability you want in your elections office, or if it's a time for a change. Join me at simpsonforauditor.com and join our fight to restore election integrity to all citizens of Clark County. Together, let's make sure every legal vote gets counted.